Now then, Rob Smith joins me on the line and we're going to talk about NZ Korfball. Good evening to you, Rob.
G'day, Nick. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. This sport that you're very enthusiastic about is completely new to me and probably to most of our viewers. Could you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Sure. Korfball is a sport in the same sporting family as netball and basketball. It originated in the Netherlands in 1903, and the key difference that it has with any other sport is that it's a mixed team sport. So males and females play with and against each other in the same teams.
So to look at it visually, is it a bit like a cross between basketball and netball?
It's similar to those two, yes. We have a slightly bigger court. We have 8 players in the team instead of 5 for basketball or 7 for netball. And we have 2 zones. And our posts, what we call the korf, which is the Dutch word for basket, set in from the end of the court. So you can score from 360 degrees around it rather than aiming at the end as you do in basketball and netball.
So did this sport originate in New Zealand or did it simply start in Christchurch schools in 98?
The latter, it didn't originate. The Dutch originated the sport in 1903, so it's been going there for several generations. And actually, it was played a little bit in New Zealand before 1998. There was a group of trainee physical education teachers at Otago University who picked it up, and they played it a little bit. And you might have some listeners who played it at school when they were younger. It has been played in some schools through that time from the 80s and on. Teachers like it, and they do teach it in physical education.
So as you say, it started in 1903. Has it gone through to Olympic level?
Yes, it was actually played in the Olympics in 1924 and 1928 when they had it at the Olympics were in Antwerp and Amsterdam. It's got reasonable prominence in Belgium as well as the Netherlands. And when those two countries hosted the Olympics, they had korfball in as a guest, as a demonstration sport. Unfortunately for us at the time, for those of us who are korfball aficionados, would you believe it? They decided that it was all too much. The korfball people at that stage decided it was all too hard. It was all too hard for them to play it at the Olympics. So they passed on the opportunity to make it a permanent sport in the Olympics. So that is very much the goal of the International Korfball Federation now, is to get it onto the Olympic program.
Now, watching the women play netball and the men play basketball, it can get pretty physical. Quite a bit of contact, even though it's not supposed to be a contact sport. What's it like having the mixed genders on the court with this game?
Well, the way that the game works, Nick, is that you have male players defending male players and female players defend female players. So there's that differentiation. Korfball can be quite physical. It is a controlled contact sport, the same as any sport where you've got people running around in the same zones from opposite teams, but I mean, people get hurt the same as they do in any other sport, but it's not dangerous to be playing with people of different genders. If you're a big, strong, rough, tough guy playing against a more delicate, shall we say, woman, it's not a problem. It doesn't happen because males defend males and females defend females.
How popular is it in schools in New Zealand?
Well, we've had a program that's been fairly seriously working on getting it into schools. We're mainly focusing on year 7 and 8, so that's primary or intermediate school age. And so we've had that program going in Christchurch pretty well for 5 or 6 years, and we get to introduce the sport to between 3,000 and 5,000 children per annum, and through the program that we've got going. So it's going pretty well. There's definitely scope to build.
Now, we've got a photo coming up of what's clearly a New Zealand team. They've all got a black fern shirt on a light grey background. So we're playing this at international level now.
Yes, we just had the World Korfball Championships in South Africa, and we had the New Zealand team was playing in that for the first time. It's the 11th time I think we've had the World Championships for korfball. Most of the countries that play it are based in Europe. Though and more recently, it has become well established in some countries in Asia too, and we managed to get our team to the World Champs at a qualifying tournament in Japan 12 months ago, and a week since the final of the World Champs, we came home. We came home last week, or we came home early last week.
So how did you go? Where did you come in the competition?
The draw didn't favour us, I'm afraid, but you shouldn't grizzle about that too much. We were in a very tough pool, and we didn't get out of that pool where we wanted to, and we ended up playing for the bottom 4 places. So there were 20 teams in the tournament. We ended up 18th.
You know how some countries are really good at certain things, like in certain Asian countries, they're really good at table tennis and badminton, for instance. Which country really cleans up with korfball?
Well, the Dutch invented it, and they are head and shoulders above everyone else.
Oh, okay. Do they come over here at all and encourage you guys and train you?
We do have. We've got a couple of Dutch korfballers at the moment who are delivering our school development program in Christchurch, and they are just tremendous with that. They really click with the young people that they're working with, and our coach who we had in the Netherlands was also the coach that we had in South Africa for the World Champs. She's also a Dutch korfball player. So there's plenty of cross pollination, if you like, between New Zealand and the Netherlands. I'm not sure if you're aware that a lot of Dutch people settled in New Zealand after the Second World War, and we have quite a lot in common with people from the Netherlands, and we get along really well with them. And korfball is a great forum for us to relate to them, I guess. I've got as a result of being involved in korfball, I've got many Dutch friends, and it's just a really nice part of the sport.
Are there any particular schools that are? I'm going to sneeze. I'm trying not to. Are there any particular schools which are playing korfball, or is it played outside of school if people are interested?
No, we've got quite a few high schools playing korfball now. Bless you. We've got a South Island Secondary Schools tournament which is coming up in September. Where are we at there? It's the 14th and 15th of September. We have 25 teams that play in our competition in Term 1 and Term 4 in the schools competition. The schools are involved in that. We've got Middleton Grange is quite into it. We've had quite a lot of involvement from Burnside High School, Papanui High School's involved. We've got teams from Shirley Boys and Avonside combined together because it's a mixed team sport. Hill Morton, they're quite into it. Kashmir, we've got some really good players from there. So we're into a good number of the local high schools. We'd love to get into all of them. If you've got any teachers who are listening at any of those schools that think that a mixed team sport would be a good idea, they can get hold of us through our website, and we'd be more than happy to talk to them about supporting them to get involved in our sport, because it does work. It works really well with schools, and because it's a mixed team sport, it's a great forum for people to. It is a sport, and we take it seriously, but it's also got a fantastic social side to it, because boys and girls, men and women, play together.
Rob, are you a coach these days?
I do a bit of coaching and a bit of refereeing, yeah.
Well, good on you. The children, well, I say children, there's teenagers and young adults, clearly get a lot of enjoyment and fitness out of this sport, so good on you. And it's been our pleasure to have you on the programme this evening to talk about korfball.
Thanks very much, Nick. All the best.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.